Are we live? It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Asylum. I'm your host, Gabriel. I hope everyone had a great day today. I definitely did, and I hope everyone who is watching this video is also having a great day as well. And it's Wednesday. You know what that means? Well, it's AEW Dynamite Day, baby. And it's also 316 Day. Happy Austin 316 Day. Of course, repping my Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt because it's 316 Day. Happy 316 Day, everyone. Once again, I hope everyone had a great day. And of course, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. AEW Dynamite St. Patrick's Day Slam was tonight. And how was it? It was a great show. It was a great show. It's what you expect from AEW every single week. They always put up a great or sometimes even an amazing or an all-timer show. Like Direct St. Patrick's Day Slam wasn't an all-timer show, but it was definitely a very great, very entertaining show. And every single week they have been consistent, putting on great show after great show after great show after great show. Man, I love AEW, man. It's shows like tonight that just makes me proud to be an AEW fan. And the main event between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa was great. I cannot wait to talk about it. I will save my thoughts for because I have a good amount to say about the main event for Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. But if you guys saw tonight, Thunder Rosa is the new AEW Women's Champion, and I couldn't be more proud. Obviously, I will give her her roses, and I will also give Britt Baker her roses as I talk about their matchup later on in the video. But yeah, overall, I thought this show was fucking great. As always. Great as always. AEW always provide great shows every single week. That's why they are the best promotion on the planet, in my opinion. If only WWE can be that consistent, but that's just me. That's just me. But yeah, man, great show tonight. A great show tonight. But yeah, I cannot wait to talk about it. But before we do that, of course, this is the part of the video where we talk about the news. And before we talk about Dynamite, of course, I have some news involving Joey Janella, as he will not be resigning with AEW. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But before we talk about Dynamite, before we talk about the news, I want to give two shout outs real quick. First, I want to give a shout out to Big E. Okay, in case you guys didn't watch SmackDown last Friday, and that's completely understandable. I understand if you guys don't watch WWE anymore, considering the product is literally trash now. But of course, during one of his matches, I believe it was like a tag team match. I think it was Big E and Kofi versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland did a belly-to-belly suplex, and Big E landed hard on his neck. Yeah, he landed hard on his neck, and the matchup just stopped. It needed to stop because Big E basically had his neck broken by Ridge Holland. Now, I'm going to get this right off the bat. Okay, accidents happen. Accidents happen. I know some people are giving Ridge Holland shit. Okay, and that's just wrong. Okay, please don't do that. I understand that you're upset, but don't put your anger on Ridge Holland. I'm sure he didn't mean to break Big E's neck. Okay, accidents happen. Okay, accidents happen. Okay, and I'm sure Ridge Holland feels just as bad. Okay, but Big E hurt his neck. He's gonna be out for like a while. Okay. He did provide an update on his Twitter saying that I think it was his C6, I think he said, was not broken. It was just like a bit fractured, and he's not going to need surgery. So that is good. But I wish Biggie nothing but the best, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. Okay, as much as I hate WWE, I do love the wrestlers that are over there. Okay, and Biggie's one of them. I love Biggie, and it just sucks that he's going through this, but I wish nothing but the best, and I hope Biggie has a speedy recovery. Okay, I really hope he has a speedy recovery, and I hope he's back and healthy once again. So that's my shout out to Biggie. Hope you have a speedy recovery, man. Really hope you have a speedy recovery. And the other thing I want to mention before I continue on with this video is Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Unfortunately, we lost a legend. To I believe it was yesterday. We lost a legend, and no, it was Monday. My bad. We lost a legend in Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was not that crazy about Scott Hall Razor Ramon, but I knew that he was extremely important in the business. He was very influential in the wrestling business, no doubt about it. Okay, he was the man that made the ladder matches famous. Like, who can forget the ladder matches he had with Shawn Michaels? Those matches are legendary, especially the one that they had at WrestleMania 10. Okay, he also had like other great matches as well. Personally, one of my favorite Razor Ramon Scott Hall matches was Bret Hart versus Razor Ramon in the 1993 King of the Ring pay-per-view, which I think is extremely underrated. Not many people talk about that matchup. I thought that matchup was great. I will go as far to say that it's even better than the 1993 Royal Rumble match that they had, like, in that year. So, yeah, but Razor Ramon Scott Hall was very, very influential. And of course, he was a part of the NWO, which is one of the biggest stables, one of the biggest and most influential stables in professional wrestling history. How? If we didn't have the NWO, we wouldn't have the Bullet Club. And if we didn't have the Bullet Club, then we wouldn't have the Elite. And if we didn't have the Elite, then we wouldn't have All Elite Wrestling. Okay, so it all goes back to the NWO and what Hogan, Hall, and Nash did. It was those three men that made it successful. Okay, and obviously, I'm extremely blessed and grateful that I got to see. Well, I wasn't alive to see Scott Hall wrestle in his prime, unfortunately, but like, you can tell that he was a good man. I don't know him personally, but you can tell that he was a good man. Like, does he have his demons? Yes. Okay, but we all have our demons. But the way that he was able to push through and become a better person in the end is very heartwarming. And just the fact that we lost a legend in Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, it, like, even though I wasn't crazy about him, like, to be perfectly honest, like, he was still very influential, and he was still awesome. Like, the way he, like, portrayed himself, he was just a cool guy. He was just so fucking cool. And even though I wasn't crazy about him, like, his death still kind of hits hard because, like, he was extremely important and extremely influential in the wrestling business. He was that important. Not to mention that he was just a cool guy, and, like, man, it still definitely hit hard, and it sucks. It really sucks. But I know Scott Hall and Scott Hall / Razor Ramon is in heaven. May he rest in peace. I'm sending my condolences to the friends and family of Scott Hall and / aka Razor Ramon. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. Thank you for everything you have done to this wrestling industry, and your legacy will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. Rest in peace. So, yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way. Sending my condolences to Scott Hall's family and friends. But yeah, now that we got that out of the way, now let's talk about the news before we talk about AEW Dynamite tonight. So the news, we only got one piece of news for this week, and that is involving Joey Janella, as he has confirmed that he will not be resigning with AEW. I'm reading this from WrestlingInc.com. If you guys want to read the articles for yourself, the link is in the description. But here's what it has to say. Janella confirmed his current contract will expire on May 1st, and he says he does not intend to re-sign with the company. I'm going to have to say no. I'm going to have to say no now, Janella told Denise Saldeo. I am not interested in signing with AEW, re-signing with them. Joey Janella has made his debut at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view in 2019. Oh, sorry. He was already a star on the U.S. independent scene before he signed with the company and admits there is some nervousness about returning to his indie roots. I was a little scared getting back into the independent wrestling world and making money, Janella said. You take those things for granted. You're getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. It's a pretty good paycheck. In your head, it's like, shit, when this is over, this is going to disappear. But I was born a hustler in this business. I was scared to get back into that world, but now I am no longer scared. Back in the day before AEW, I was going out to wrestle for basically nothing, Janella continued. I was just doing it because I love it. I would do 3 to 4 shows a week. I would rack up small paydays from the promoters plus my merchandise, and I would be satisfied and I would be making a lot of money. But now my price has gone significantly up, so I don't know if the promoters were going to welcome me back with open arms. But recently, I realized that the promoters know the situation. They realize what the situation is going to be, and they've been hitting me up big time. They said, we want you to come back here. We want you to wrestle some of the newer guys we have. We want you to wrestle some of the older guys. We want Joey Janella back. Joey Janella said he's satisfied with what he accomplished during his 3 years in AEW, but also expressed some frustration over the communication with the company's front office. It was a learning experience, and I'm going to say this in the most positive way possible without looking negative. Those 3 years with AEW was developmental for the rest of my career. I am so much sharper now, not only in ring, but business-wise. I learned so much in those 3 years. Not only am I sharper myself in all facets of the wrestling business, but I can go to a young guy, I could go to a Nick Wayne and teach him stuff of the stuff that I learned in those 3 years. Or I can go to GCW, or I can go to another promotion and teach them what I learned on the other side of the current. I am not sad at all. I did everything I wanted to do there. Within the 6 months I started there, my goal was to wrestle Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, main event TV, main event pay-per-view, did it all. The only thing I didn't get was an action figure, so be it. It's over now, and we're just moving forward. I have no complaints. I thank Tony Khan. They've been doing this. They've been doing this to people. They've been radio silent on the people they have been letting contracts expire. That's why you have talent relations to talk to your talent to tell them what the situation is. If they're going to have a paycheck coming in or they're going to be signed to a per appearance deal, which some of the guys have agreed to. I would never agree on a per appearance deal anywhere. My per appearance deal is going to be where I am booking myself all over the world. I am booked in 6 different countries coming up per appearance on the independent scene. I want to be my own boss. That's how I got my name out there. I want to be my own boss, and I had the most buzz outside of the elite, and that's why I had this opportunity at AEW. That's why I had this opportunity at All In. Joey Janella implied that his departure from AEW was the company's decision, featuring a turning point for him in AEW was a match against Eddie Kingston on an episode of AEW Dark back in January. I think a lot of it has to do with the situation where I worked with Eddie Kingston in Charlotte, and I super kicked him in the face a little bit too hard, came in a little bit too hot, Janella recalled. I've been squatting probably 50 more pounds than I used to be squatting, and doing 100 pounds more on the leg press. And I don't know, I didn't realize I had that type of power in my legs. And I gave him a super kick and I broke his vertebral bone. He was going into a feud with Chris Jericho, and I feel that may have been the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of guys, maybe some older heads, believe my hype and believe that I was some kind of dangerous professional wrestler. I had times where I injured people, of course, everyone has. But once you get that reputation, it's hard to break that. I had a string of bad luck throughout my AEW career, and that have made been the straw that broke the camel's back. But I don't know because they don't communicate with me. So that's basically the full article. If you guys want to read the article for yourself, the link is in the description. But yeah, here's the thing. Like, basically the writing was on the wall for Joey Janella. Like, I don't hate Joey Janella. I'm just not that crazy about Joey Janella. And like Joey Janella just doesn't bring much to the table in AEW. That doesn't mean AEW didn't try with it. Trust me, they tried with him. Okay, they gave him the ball. Okay, it's not like WWE where like they rarely give these wrestlers an opportunity to either like succeed or fail. Like no, AEW fully gave Joey Janela an opportunity, and unfortunately, Joey Janela just he just didn't connect with the fans. He didn't bring much to the table for AEW. The best he could do was that he was just a glorified jobber. Like that's basically it. Like personally, I feel like Joey Janela is more. I feel like Joey Janela is more of a GCW guy than anything. Like I think like AEW. I don't think I think GCW is more of a perfect fit for Joey Janela than AEW. Okay, like I'm not gonna go out of my way to say that it's a big loss for AEW. Like, like, is it suck that Joey Janela is not resigning? Yeah, but I'm not gonna go crazy about it. Like, it is what it is, unfortunately. So yeah, like I think it's cool that he still did matches with like John Moxley and like Kenny Omega and all that, which is really cool. Which is really cool. And again, AEW did try with Joey Janela. It's just Joey Janela did not bring much to the table, unfortunately. And yeah, like I'm sorry, Joey Janela fans, but he just didn't bring much to the table in AEW. But yeah, I always saw him as a GCW guy, and I saw the Hammerstein Ballroom show for GCW, and he was a freaking star. Like the people in the Hammerstein Ballroom were going crazy for Joey Janela when he had that matchup with Matt Cardona for the GCW World Championship. So I think like Joey Janela, like being a GCW star, like Joey Janela being in GCW, it just fits him so much better than AEW. So again, not a huge loss. Like I'm not gonna lose sleep over Joey Janela leaving AEW. I will say something that is very interesting that Joey Janela said was that the communication was lacking a bit, that the communication was a bit lacking in terms of like the people that Tony Khan is like they're not like the people that Tony Khan is not renewing the contracts for. Like he said that there's lack of communication there, and that's kind of not good. I hope AEW fix that. If this is true, I really hope Tony Khan and AEW fix that. Okay, I really hope they fix that because there should be some communication on why Tony Khan is not renewing these contracts for some of these wrestlers. I feel like some of these wrestlers have the right to know why their contracts are not being re-signed. So if this is true, like I hope Tony Khan like fixes like gives out some truthful communication on why like they're not on why Tony Khan is not resigning some of these wrestlers. Okay. It's like, to be fair, him being silent is better than straight up lying to wrestlers like what Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, like what they're doing in WWE, they're just straight up lying to these wrestlers on why they're releasing them. Okay. Well, here, there's just no communication. Okay. I feel like that's both bad. Okay. There should be communication. Okay. Tell these wrestlers why you're not renewing the contract. Okay. I think Janella should have the right to know why TK is not resigning. Why Tony Khan is not renewing his contract. You know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully TK AEW can fix that. It's an easy fix, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, if this is true, I really hope AEW can fix that. But yeah, that's basically all I gotta say. But yeah, other than that, the writing has been on the wall for a while now for Joey Janela. And like I said, like Joey Janela just doesn't bring much to the table in AEW. And unfortunately, he's one of the few wrestlers that have been left behind when with the ever evolving roster for AEW. So yeah, I wish Joey Janela nothing but success. And again, he can just go straight into GCW because again, he is perfect for GCW 110%. Okay, he is 100% perfect. Plus, we could see Joey Janela again in the future because don't forget the Forbidden Door. Just saying. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section about the Joey Janela situation. But yeah, that's basically all I got to say on that. So yeah, that's the only piece of news for today, for this week. Now, let's talk about AEW Dynamite, baby. And speaking of baby, we start off the show with a 6-man tag team match. As we got the AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page and the AEW Tag Team Champions Jurassic Express going against the Undisputed Originals, Red Dragon, and Adam Cole, baby. Yes. And this was a very fun opening matchup. Very, very fun opening matchup. These 6 men absolutely killed it. There was even one point of the matchup where they did a fucking like Hangman Page, Luchasaurus, and Jungle Boy did a serial moonsault all at the same time to the Undisputed Era, which I thought was a very beautiful spot. This matchup absolutely killed it. Very fun opening matchup. And the Undisputed Era, the Undisputed Original, wins the matchup after they took out Hangman Page and Luchasaurus, and they basically took out Jungle Boy to win the matchup clean, actually. Very clean. So, very fun matchup. I thought it was very interesting that they gave the win to Adam Cole and Red Dragon. Could we possibly see a winner takes all match? Maybe. I could see that happening. AEW doing like a winner takes all situation where both the AEW World Championship and the AEW Tag Team Championship would be up for grabs at the same time. I think that would be fucking awesome. Okay, so we could possibly see that down the line. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting that Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly picked up the victory. But again, very fun opener to start off the St. Patrick's Day Slam AEW Dynamite show. Wow, that's a mouthful to say. After that, we got an interview with Keith Lee and Team Taz. And it was announced that on Rampage this Friday we will have Keith Lee going against one half of the Acclaimed. Everybody loves the Acclaim, Max Caster. Team Taz basically tried to intimidate Keith Lee, basically saying that don't come to Rampage on Friday or we will take you down again. And Keith Lee's not intimidated at all, even calling Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs a bitch. Okay? But Keith Lee said that he is ready for Rampage this Friday. After that, we get a very small but very interesting vignette as we got Chris Sadlander taking off her alien contact and wiping off her alien makeup. And I thought that was a very interesting vignette. It's just her taking off the contact, her taking off the makeup, and it's just a close-up of her normal face. I thought that was very, very interesting. Could this be a possible character change? I hope not. Because I love Chris Sadlander as the alien. I thought that's a very unique gimmick, and I really hope she doesn't get rid of it. Because Chris Sadlander as having an alien gimmick really makes her unique in the pack. So, but yeah, I thought that was very, very interesting. After that, we got Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. By the way, these two men should be the next AEW Tag Team Champions. 110%. Moxley and Danielson should be the next AEW Tag Team Champions. 110%. Okay? I'm on the hype train. Okay, they should be the next AEW Tag Team Champions. And I hope they become the next AEW Tag Team Champions. But Danielson and Moxley coming out with William Regal. And they went against Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta of the Best Friends. And this was a great match. This was a great, hard-hitting matchup. I loved every second of this match. Wheeler Yuta actually had a great showcase in this matchup, as he held his own against Moxley and Danielson. Obviously, it wasn't enough, as Danielson and Moxley takes them down, and Danielson and Moxley picks up the victory. But after that, we got something very, very interesting, as we got Wheeler Yuta coming back to the ring. He wants to join William Regal's group, and he wants to shake his hand, but William Regal slaps him. Okay, and Yuta didn't back down, and Yuta AEW is teasing Wheeler Yuta joining William Regal's group, which would be fucking awesome, absolutely awesome. Okay, I'm glad that AEW is finally pulling the trigger on this. Okay, first Wheeler Yuta, maybe we might get a Lee Moriarty in there, and maybe, I don't know, a Cesaro, a Claudio Castagnoli, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is a great start. Wheeler Yuta joining Regal's group would be fucking awesome. A great showcase by him tonight, and a great matchup between Danielson and Moxley and Taylor and Yuta. After that, we get an interview with FTR. Obviously, they explain why they kicked out Tully Blanchard, basically saying that once they lost the AEW Tag Team titles, that Tully Blanchard just didn't have their back, basically. So they just fired him. But yeah, I'm very interested in why AEW all of a sudden just got rid of Tully Blanchard as FTR's tag team, as FTR's manager. I thought that was very interesting. We obviously don't know the details of that yet, but yeah, but we might get a replacement which could be even better than Tully Blanchard. Okay, the Young Bucks made a little tease of a certain hitman coming to AEW. That's right. Like they've been teasing this, okay, for some time now, and we might get Bret Hart in AEW, and even better, he might be the manager he might be the new manager for FTR. And oh my God, I hope it happens. Bret Hart as the manager for FTR. Yo, take my fucking money. That would be awesome. I hope that happens, bro. I really hope that happens because that would be fucking dope. Not only that, but they are really teasing this rematch between FTR and the Young Bucks, which would be fucking amazing. Bro, we might see that matchup at All Out, at Double or Nothing. All Out's like that's later on in the year. We might see the matchup at Double or Nothing, maybe. Like it's like the Young Bucks versus FTR is definitely pay-per-view worthy, but we'll see. But the fact that Bret Hart was teased tonight was amazing. And the fact that the AEW might get Bret Hart for FTR's new manager, I love it. I love it. Okay, hopefully it happens. After that, we get a small Acclaim segment, basically talking trash to Keith Lee. Ricky Starks and Will Hobbs come into the mix, basically hyping up the Acclaim, saying that these people don't belong here. You need to take out Keith Lee. Then we need to show these wrestlers that they don't belong here. And then all of a sudden, Shane Strickland comes into the camera, basically talks some little trash to Ricky Starks, saying, "Whose house? Swerve's house. Whose house? Swerve's house." So basically, he talks some little trash to Ricky Starks and he leaves. Yo, imagine if we get a Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland versus Ricky Starks, Will Hobbs tag team match. Yo, that would be fucking fire, bro. That would be awesome. That would be fucking awesome. I hope that happens. After that, we get Chris Jericho and his Appreciation Society promo. And this was a great segment. This was an absolute great segment. Guys and gals, they got major heat because they labeled themselves as sports entertainers. Jericho literally labeled himself. Daniel Garcia labeled himself as sports entertainers. They are literally labeling themselves that for major heat, and it is fucking awesome. The fact that AEW is making this like sports entertainer gimmick and give it to like Jericho and his group for major heat is just gold. Absolute gold. And I love every second of it. And 2.0 actually got new names now in Matthew Lennar and Angelo Parker, which is smart because their original name is Matt Lee and Jeff Parker. And obviously we already have a Jeff and a Matt. Obviously, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, of course. So yeah, I thought it was a smart move by AEW, like giving them like changing the names. And it's not like fully different. Okay, it's similar. Like we got Matthew Leonard and Angelo Parker, so it's not like crazy changes, and they're not stupid names either. So yeah, like definitely a great segment. I'm loving this version of Chris Jericho. The motherfucker had the nerve to call himself a sports entertainer for Heat, and I love every second of it. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait for Eddie Kingston and Santana Ortiz, and who knows, maybe we might get Homicide and Hernandez, and I can't wait for LAX to come out and just beat the shit out of the Jericho Appreciation Society. Let's go LAX. Okay, representing pro wrestling. That's my boys. So yeah, great segment by Jericho and the Appreciation Society. After that, we get a little vignette for Serena Deeb, basically telling Hikaru Shida welcome back. But of course, Serena Deeb, crazy as always, basically wants to end Shida's career. Hopefully, we get an Iron Woman matchup. This rivalry deserves a fucking Iron Woman match. Okay, Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida, final matchup. Make it an Iron Woman matchup. They deserve an Iron Woman matchup, 110%. I hope AEW does it. I really, really do. Okay, but yeah, amazing promo as always by Serena Deeb. After that, we got Scorpio Sky defending the TNT Championship against Warlow. And this was a great match. I really enjoyed this matchup. Obviously, of course, it was very expected, especially on my end. Basically, MJF and Shawn Spears cost Warlow the matchup. Scorpio Sky retained, which is the right call, actually, because it would suck that you would give Scorpio Sky the TNT title and then lose it the next week to Warlow. Like, that would be a bit underwhelming, a bit sucky. But obviously, it did not happen. Scorpio Sky retains after MJF and Shawn Spears basically cost Warlow the matchup. And then after that, MJF and Shawn Spears absolutely destroys Warlow. Okay, so yeah, great sub, great call by AEW because I know a lot of people said that like Warlow has a chance of winning because remember, Warlow is still contracted to MJF, technically. And MJF did say like a couple weeks ago, I believe it was the Dynamite before Revolution, where MJF said that and if Warlow wins the TNT title, okay, then it officially becomes MJF's. So that was a great point. Like they did mention that, but it would have been a bit underwhelming because again, like Scorpio Sky just won the TNT title, and then you're just gonna take the title away just like that. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Like I know not everyone can have a lengthy title reign, but like still. Not exactly a fan of that. So I thought AEW made the right call. Have MJF and Shawn Spears cost Warlow the matchup and have Scorpio Sky retain. So yeah, and then after that, MJF and Shawn Spears just absolutely destroy Warlow. And obviously, I am loving this rivalry between MJF and Warlow. Long-term storytelling at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I fucking love it. Love it, love it, love it. After that, we get a little interview with Jay Cardhill. And nothing too crazy. Basically saying, who's going to be next? Okay, who's going to be the big 3-0? And I don't know if you've been on Twitter, but for all the people who don't have Twitter, basically, Jay Cardhill and Athena, the former Ember Moon, was going back and forth on social media. Could her 30th opponent be Ember Moon Athena? Like, I mean, that would be dope. Just saying. Just saying. Like, this could be a way to bring Athena to AEW. Like, bro. Like, I think it might happen. I think Jay Cardhill's 30th matchup will be against Athena Ember Moon. Like, I have that feeling. Like, they have been talking trash to each other on social media. So, who knows? Could be a potential tease for the future, maybe. Maybe. But yeah, nothing too crazy there. After that, we get the Hardy Boys, baby. And the crowd was going fucking crazy, bro. Like, the Hardy Boys in AEW is a big fucking deal. Okay, it is a game changer for AEW because everyone knows the fucking Hardy Boys. Everyone knows Matt Hardy. Everyone knows Jeff Hardy. Like, for God's sake, Jeff Hardy was literally on WWE programming, and now he's in AEW. Like, this is a big game changer, and everybody was going crazy for the Hardy Boys when they came out, and they went against Private Party in a great matchup. I really enjoyed this matchup between both of these teams. Very entertaining matchup. Very entertaining matchup. And Jeff Hardy did a fucking swanton. And everybody was literally standing for the swanton. And just for the swanton alone, it got a massive pop. And the Hardy looked absolutely great. This was a great matchup. Both teams did absolutely amazing. And the Hardys pick up the victory in their debut. After that, the rest of the HFO comes out. They cornered every side of the ring, and they were going to attack the Hardy Boys. But then Darby Allin and Sting came out for the save, and the AHFO retreats as Jeff, Matt, Sting, and Darby are all in the ring, like celebrating. And my God, this Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Darby Allin, Sting alliance is fucking awesome. And I can't wait till one day we get that Jeff Hardy, Darby Allin matchup, especially in a TLC match. Man, Tony Khan would make a big mistake if he doesn't do that matchup one day. Jeff Hardy, Darby Allin in a TLC match, or like some kind of street fight. Like, that would be fucking dope. I hope we see that one day. I really hope we see that in AEW one day. Maybe All Out? Maybe? Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm loving this alliance. Now, this is the part of the video where we go over the stuff that's happening on Rampage this Friday and Dynamite next week. Nothing has been announced for Dynamite next week, but this has been announced for Rampage this Friday. And it is as follows. We got Keith Lee going against Max Caster. We got Layla Hirsch going against Red Velvet. We got Darby Allin going against The Butcher. And we got the House of Black going against Fuego del Sol and Bear Country. And of course, Rampage this Friday has a special start time of 11 o'clock, which is insane. Like, I'm still going to watch it, but I'm probably going to be tired. But since I love AEW so fucking much, I'm still going to watch it. Okay. But, yeah. And of course, nothing has been announced for Dynamite. Now we get to our main event of the evening. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship inside of the steel cage. And this was a good match. This was a very good matchup. I will say that this is the weakest match out of the trilogy of Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa matches. This is the weakest one. Not to say that this matchup was bad, but like, it wasn't as good as the Lights Out match or even their matchup at Revolution. If I were to rank them, I would go their Lights Out match from last year, then their matchup at Revolution, then their steel cage matchup. Okay? Like, this was still a good matchup. I feel like it was kind of sloppy in one or two spots, but I still thought it was a very good matchup. It just wasn't as good as their Lights Out match or their Revolution match. But I still thought it was a very good matchup. It was a good enough matchup. Both of these ladies absolutely killed it. And Thunder Rosa picks up the victory, finally becoming the AEW Women's Champion. And I couldn't be fucking happier. She absolutely deserves it, 100%. And a big smile was just on my face when she won the AEW Women's Championship. It's insane because when I first saw Thunder Rosa, it was on the National Wrestling Alliance on YouTube. And when I saw her for the first time in the National Wrestling Alliance on YouTube, I knew she was special. And then once she came to AEW, like she was a freaking star in the women's division. And I'm glad that she finally got her roses. And after all her hard work, she's finally AEW Women's Champion, representing all the Latinos, Latinas, including myself everywhere. And I'm just extremely proud of her. I'm extremely proud of her. She absolutely deserves it. But we also need to give Britt Baker her flowers as well. She had an amazing AEW title reign, and she really put the women's division to the next level. Like, she really did put it to the next level and really made that AEW Women's Championship prestigious. Is she an incredible professional wrestler? No, she's a good enough wrestler, but every time you see her Britt Baker matches, like every time you see a Britt Baker match, they treat it like a big deal. Britt Baker makes her matches a big fucking deal, and that's that's probably the biggest reason on why her reign was so special. Because Britt Baker's reign, like every Britt Baker match, whether it is Ruby Soho, Thunder Rosa, Chris Sadlander, Ty Conti, Anna Jay, like she always really did a great job hyping up her matches, and she always provides good matches, very good matches. Okay, like, is she an incredible professional wrestler? No, but she's still a good enough wrestler. And again, it's the way she creates the big fight feel was absolutely special. And she really brought the AEW Women's Championship to the next level. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely bringing my roses out to Britt Baker. Amazing title reign. It's going to feel weird for Britt Baker to not be AEW Women's Champion anymore. But yeah, thank you, Britt Baker, for bringing the AEW Women's Championship and the AEW Women's Division to the next level. Okay, like I feel like everyone should give their roses to Britt Baker. She really brought it to the next level. She brought the Women's Championship and the Women's Division to the next level. Okay, and that's mainly because of Britt Baker. So I'm giving her roses because she definitely deserves it as well. But it is now a new chapter in the AEW Women's Division, and I can't wait for what AEW does with the Thunder Rosa AEW Women's title reign. Man, I'm so fucking excited. I can already imagine the matches. Ruby Soho, Serena Deeb. Like, I think a Nyla Rose program would be cool. And the new lady, Mercedes, like they could run it back. Like maybe a rivalry with Jamie Hayter. Maybe with some new ladies with Toni Storm and Athena. Like they could AEW. Like I cannot wait for what AEW does with this AEW Women's Championship reign for Thunder Rosa. Okay, Thunder Rosa. Like if Britt Baker already brought it to the next level with her title reign, I think Thunder Rosa is going to bring the AEW Women's Division and the title to the next level. Okay. Britt Baker made it big, made the women's division and the women's title big. Now, Thunder Rosa, I believe Thunder Rosa, if AEW can play their cards right, I think Thunder Rosa, as great as a professional wrestler she is one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet. One of the best female professional wrestlers on the planet. Okay. Like Britt Baker already made the women's division and the women's title big. And I believe if AEW can play their cards right, I think Thunder Rosa is going to make the women's division and the women's title even bigger And I cannot wait to see it in front of my very eyes. Once again, congratulations to Thunder Rosa. She absolutely deserves it. Definitely a good matchup between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. And overall, this was a very great episode of Dynamite. Another great episode, as always, for AEW Dynamite. But I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. What do you guys think about AEW Dynamite tonight? Did you guys like it? Did you guys not like it? Was there something specifically you like? Was there something specifically you hate? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. But thank you so much for watching. Much, much appreciated. If you guys like this video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you leave a comment. And if you guys like the content that I make sure you subscribe and leave the notification bell so that way you don't miss any of my videos. But until next time, this is Gabriel, and I'll see you next time in the Asylum. Have a nice night, everyone.